we are heading for the cooler season of the year, so it's the perfect time to send some thank you cards. In this video tutorial, I'm sharing step-by-step instructions how you can make this sweet and simple card with the Gathering Moments bundle by Stampin' Up. I already mounted my stamp, so I can put that aside. And as you can see, I'm not using any designer series paper, but I'm using the gorgeous new Gathering Leaves embossing folder. It's one of our large ones. So you can emboss half a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock in just one go. And let me show you the rest of the bits and pieces that we need for this card. At the end of the video, I will also put a graphic where you can just take a screenshot of all the measurements. But we have a basic beige cardstock here, 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded at 4.25 for our base. Then I have a piece of Cajun Craze two-tone cardstock. So this is the darker side, or the full Cajun Craze, and then the lighter tone is on the back. And I went ahead and I die cut a label with the new Tasteful Labels die, no, not Tasteful, Traditional Labels dies, to keep my layers lighter and just be smart about how to use my paper. And then I have a piece of basic white that I already embossed with the Gathering Leaves folder, so that mats on right there. Then yes, I did did a little bit of stamping ahead of time, just in case. But I did cut this cute banner here, also from the traditional labels dies by Stampin' Up. So that's what we'll. And then I just have some bits and pieces here for stamping my leaves and my little mushroom. And I have a coloring tip for you there. So let's get actually started with our stamping first. So we have all of our bits and pieces together when we want to assemble the card. So I'm going to stamp my large leaf in crushed curry. If you want to make this card at home, you can actually get a free class kit for this Gathering Moments online class that I'm doing right now on my YouTube channel. I have a link in the video description where you find out all the details, but it's only for a limited time, so don't wait too long if you want that kit. All right, so I'm stamping my big leaf, and it has this nice watercolor texture, so we can put that aside. Then I have two just 1-inch scrap pieces here, and let's see, I will use that one. Then I have my small, I don't know, berries maybe. I will stamp those in early espresso. So there's only one stamp, but in the coordinating die set, you actually get 2 of these dies. So you can stamp 2 and die cut 2 at the same time. Really cool. Oh, let me leave that open. So now here's my tip for stamping our little mushroom. As you can see on my sample here, I actually have the top of the mushroom is in Cajun Craze, and then my bottom is in early espresso. So you can use the big ink pads, but I also have a whole lot of these ink spots that we get in our kits and in our paper pumpkin boxes every month. So I like to use those for this kind of technique actually. So what I'm going to do is I have my mushroom mounted here, and I'm going to take my ink pad and try to make use of that edge here to ink it up. And see, sometimes it's a little bit tricky. And if you feel like you had too much ink on it, let me make sure, I hope everything's in focus. And you can just kind of wipe that off a little bit. So it's a little bit like, it's different for everybody. So some people like to pick it up and do it like this. Sometimes I like to just go like on eye level with my table. That's what I'm going to do now. And just line up, I'm looking from the side to line up my stamp. So I'm just inking up the top in Cajun Craze. So now this is where the ink spots come in handy. Since they're so small, you have a little bit more control of where you're going. So I'm just using, I hope you can see that, I'm just using my ink pad there. And again, you can put this on the table and just go eye level again and ink it up like that. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's a stamped image. Plus, we're going to put a little, I hope you can still hear my voice. We're putting a baker's twine bow on there. So let's give it a little huff. And if this doesn't work out, we'll just stamp it a second time. Oh, perfect though. Can you see? So there's just, let me bring that up. There's a teeny tiny line, but I mean, that's what our bow is gonna cover up. So, but I actually think it's perfect. So, all right. So, and then for the last part, I'm gonna bring back my Cajun craze. And yeah, I had a few extra here. Let's see, that was my not stamped one. So if that doesn't work out, I can still use that one, but I think now we're out of focus. Sorry. Okay, so using my Thankful for You stamp here, and I always try to mount it as straight as I can, lined up with my block. So not by the sticker, but with the block. So Thankful for You, we're going to stamp that in Cajun Craze. And I want it to the pointy end there. So I have to stamp a little bit higher. Ah, that turned out perfect. So we don't even need the backup, I think. I can use that for another card. I actually did this, used this for one of my swaps. I'm hoping to show them to you soon. Like I have like 40 different cards coming in with all kinds of bundles and stamp sets and papers from the September-December mini catalog as well as the September online exclusives that just launched. Alright, so just going to line this up to die cut all my pieces. Oops. Like 2 left thumbs trying to do that right there. So like I said, we have 2 of these dies. So let's see if we can make use of the tape. If you do stamp multiple images and want to die cut them together, always make sure, you know, if it's on the same piece of cardstock, always leave enough room between them. Okay. Otherwise your dies will push against each other, and best case, not cut out your images even. Worst case, you're going to damage your dies. So always leave enough space. Don't let your dies touch. Okay, and let's see here with our little mushroom. I need a little bit more tape. And as you can see, I will run these through a little stem or mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. So let's see here. Okay. Just going to do that off camera real quick so I'm not shaking the table too much. All right, just bringing in my bits and pieces. And a little mushroom. I'll be honest with you, it was the mushroom that got me. I mean, the paper in this suite is gorgeous, but it was that mushroom that got me. All right, so now let me show you how to assemble this. We're going to first layer our embossed piece here on the two-tone cardstock with some Stampin' Seal. Just running that all around. Oh, that was all the way crooked. That's okay. As long as you don't push it down yet, you can still wiggle. I feel like my camera is doing all kinds of shadows today. That's okay. Alrighty, and then that goes on to our card base. So some more Stampin' Seal all around. Now make sure that your leaves are the right way. Okay. And you do want to be a little bit more careful when gluing down your layers if you're using two-tone cardstock, because it is thinner. It's more like designer series paper thickness than our regular cardstock. So sometimes it's a little bit more sensitive in terms of moving stuff around. Okay, let me see here. Did I pop this up? Yes, I popped up my Cajun Craze label. Oh, it's kind of hard to see. Okay, this is my back side. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get all of our dimensionals off. And let's put this in the middle. All right, looks good. Whoops. Didn't mean to move that. Okay, so then I went ahead and I actually glued down my banner, my sentiment layer as is. So just going to put that there, making sure it's straight. These traditional labels dies are so fun. So many options you can layer them. I used them quite a bit in my Perfectly Pairs class. So if you want, you can check those videos out right here. And now let's assemble the rest of our pieces here. I'll just use some Stampin' Seal because it's going to be perfectly fine. So I'm using my big leaf first and putting that there. Then I'm using, well, let's use some liquid glue for that. That's just going to be easier. So I'm putting a little bit. Yeah, something's definitely different with my lighting this time. It's a little bit harder for me to see. So I'm going to tuck that back here. I love that we get 2 dies for this little one, because the little elements are usually what you use multiple times on your cards. I don't know if you can actually see. I can barely see it. Just a little bit more liquid glue. And we're going to tuck that under here to have that peek out. Okay, and then we'll just do our little mushroom. So that can just get some liquid glue all around. Oops, didn't mean to pick that back up. Okay, and then we'll just use some mini glue dots, and I already tied my little early espresso linen thread. This is also part of this gathering moments or gathering together suite, is this linen thread in early espresso and old olive. I'll show you in a second. So just a little, if it were to stick to the paper and not my finger. Okay, no, and that one's gone. So let's take another one. Okay, that's what we need to do. We need to roll it onto our paper. Okay, and then, oh, I think maybe I need to move my mushroom a little bit further away. Oh, I think my bow was smaller on my original card also. So let's make it just a tiny bit smaller so it's a better fit. Okay. I don't like it when my mini glue dot is showing over there. All right, so that looks cute. And then the cool thing is about linen thread, sometimes you can kind of bend it a little bit into shape. Just make sure my mini glue dot isn't showing too much there. All right, so and then like I said, so it comes in this combo pack of early espresso and old olive. So I've used the early espresso quite a bit for all my swap cards and some class designing, like this one. And then also in the suite we have the Cajun Craze and gold dots, and they have some gold sparkles in there, so really cute, and they come in 3 different sizes. So we'll add just a little bit more sparkle there to our card. Put one down here, and I'll put a medium one up here, and then a small one down here. All right, and there we go. That's our card. Not too complicated. Maybe not a total beginner card because, you know, of all the die cutting and embossing, so you need a few supplies. So there we go. There's my original card, and here's the card we just made. So, and I will put all the measurements of the bits and pieces right over here, so you can pause and take a screenshot if you like. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment below the video. Like I said, the class kit is available for a limited time. The link is also in the description. And if you missed the first card in this Gathering Moments class, I will link it right after this video at the end, so you can hop there and watch it. Again, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.